Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
This is the farm where we grow cross stitch.
One stitch at a time. Today is Monday, August 11th. Happy Monday.
How is it already the 11th of August?
I don't know. Summer's going to be over before I know it. Couldn't go in the pool today because my leg hurts because I fell on the boat Saturday. Winter and family reunion lake weekend. I fell on the boat Saturday. And I injured myself. I also fell out of a kayak in water that was literally like ankle deep. Trying to get out of the kayak to help my niece.
Who then wound up not needing any help.
Who then wound up not needing my help. And I laughed and I was like, thanks. She goes, you're welcome. The same niece, the younger niece, the same niece, I fell on the boat when I went to get on this apparatus called Mabel, Big Mabel. It's you drag it behind a boat to go tubing. If you're not a boat person, you probably. But it kind of looks like it's almost like a sofa that floats, an inflatable sofa that floats, a little bit longer. I mean, myself, I think, like.
It's as long as one of those reclining sofas that are just flat for your legs to be up.
Yes. And like me, Joe, and another human could fit on it.
Wouldn't recommend it. But
I don't know that I would recommend it, but so it is a little bit more stable than like the round inner tubes that you traditionally drag behind a boat for tubing, which is good.
Well, the other good thing is it partially supports as you're going. So your arm strength isn't not only being used for holding on, but also for not going backwards. Because as soon as you let go on a regular tube, you're gone.
Right.
This one, you could let go, and technically you'd stay on as long as you didn't turn.
Or bounce hard enough.
Yeah, but that's the whole point, is to bounce them hard enough.
Right. So, when not tubing, driving around the lake and slinging people around on the tube, when we're anchored in the swimming area, they float Big Mabel behind the boat. Just another place to kind of sit and hang out on the lake while I was sitting on it. I actually fell trying to get on it, to sit on it with one niece. She got off, the other niece decided to get on. The little niece decided to get on. Little niece then decided to get off. And like, as she's sliding off, I knew it was going to flip because I was not sitting where it was balanced. It was tilted, and over it went, and I ended up underneath of it, kind of like something like this, and everybody's freaking out, going, oh my god, are you okay? And I am underneath of the thing laughing because I completely saw the flip coming and was pretty prepared for the fact that I was going in the water.
Can I do what everybody heard?
Yes.
We're like, are you okay? And all you heard is, I'm okay. Because it was muffled because she was under the thing, so it sounded just like all of the memes. Oh my god.
I was laughing pretty hard. I did require a little bit of assistance getting out from under it because it's not a light thing either. I mean, it's just not. We had a very good weekend though. We had a good time.
I kicked my own backside. Mental note, do not try to keep up with teenagers who do cross country while going up a steep hill when you're out of shape.
I did not attempt to keep up with the cross-country teenager going up a hill.
Actually, I tried to keep up with the other one. She actually waited for me. But just trying to keep up. And
I just let them both go. I knew they were safe.
Yeah. I just don't trust that road because nobody expects pedestrians on that road.
Yes, they do.
I just didn't trust it. I'd rather safe than sorry. That's my nature.
Okay, well, and I knew they were perfectly fine. Okay. So that was the weekend. Didn't get much stitching in this weekend, but it's fine. I had a good time. Saw the family. Hung out with the family. Partied on the lake. Hung out with the family. It was good times. Alright. Recovery this week. My leg hurts. I'm not bruised, but it definitely hurts.
Oh, your bones probably like, I hate you right now.
I mean, it was swollen when I got off the boat. I was swollen when I got off the boat. We put some ice on it before dinner, and it went down. So all will be fine. It's fine.
Oh, I look like half an egg.
Yeah, it did kind of look like an egg. Alright, well, why don't we... That was our excitement for the week. Did y'all do anything exciting this week? Are y'all going to do anything exciting this summer? Have you done anything exciting this summer? Tell us. Share with the group. Comment, because we're going to shout out our one commenter from last week's video.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thanks, Teresa. Okay. Whips, you don't have whippage because you did not stitch on Wednesday?
No.
Relocate you.
I was trying to help.
Wednesday was MNG meeting. We were supposed to be doing a natural dyeing workshop. Unfortunately, none of us realized that the stove in the church didn't work.
And the poor lady was there 50 minutes later than she wanted to be.
Yes, poor Kathy was running late. The stove did not work. And poor Kathy is doing the dyeing class in the park for EGA on Thursday, and I think it might rain. Hopefully it's like the pop-up thunderstorms and we don't get it till later in the afternoon. Okay. So what I worked on this week was I started the week with the Salve, the Star Touch Meadow January block. Meadow? I don't know what that was. Meadow January block. I did 314 stitches on this. And it is almost done. This is on 16 count Ada. I have just a bit of the white to fill in and the background. So obviously next time I pull this sucker out, it will be finished.
No, I don't like ringing the bell off.
Regardless of whether or not that's more than 300 stitches, I'm going to finish. I don't think it's actually going to be 300 stitches. I think I'm going to have to actually do this. Then into the prompts for the week. It was Embroidery Hoop Week was the theme. So I pulled out, so for my largest whip and my whip that I stitch in a hoop, I pulled out Crosswing Collections Glory in the Morning. I started this for my birthday this year. Y'all, I knew this was a big whip. I knew there was going to be a lot of stitching in it. I think of this week, it registered with me just exactly how much stitching is in this.
4 months later?
Well, like, I stitched on it to start it for my birthday start. And I don't remember what I did back then. I'd have to go look. And I am going to go look. Because I decided that I'm going to start keeping track of stitches year to year. Like on projects, or at least I'm going to try. We're going to see how this works. I keep it for the whole year so I can figure it out. So here she is. That's, you're never going to see it all in one picture frame. Or in one frame. This, I did 806 stitches on it. So there's about 100 here in the flower to finish it up. So like 700 something of the stitches is in this part of the leaf. The leaf is not done. The leaf is like maybe 2/3 done. And it's like 700 some stitches. I knew it was going to be big. I don't think it registered in my brain exactly how big. This will be almost full yard tall. This is a custom dye fabric that I did, so it's blue on the top, green on the bottom. Because it's on a fabric like that. So like if you buy this because you're motivated to stitch this, I think I can order it. Yeah, I can order it. I can wholesale it, and then I can dye your fabric. It's gonna be gorgeous when it finishes. I'm willing to bet this is Hay territory stitch count. I'm willing to bet this is a Hay territory stitch count. Which is part of the reason why I want to keep track of my stitches on a lot of things. Start keeping track of a lot of my stitches. Because a while back, in one of my groups, one of the admins asked something about, like, BAPs and what counts as a BAP, and somebody's response was hates. And only hates. Like, anything else was a large project. Anything that wasn't full coverage
elitist?
Was just a large project.
Much? Because anybody tells me Dragons of Sumatra wasn't a BAP is an idiot.
I tend to agree.
If it doesn't fit on a 12 by 12 hoop, it's a BAP in my book.
Yeah. When we started the ornamental long / smalls prompt in Daily 30, there was a small bit of discussion of what we should consider a small, and it's 100 by 100, because that just kind of was nice and rounded. I know some people think smalls are like something you can stitch in like a day, but
that's not even a good metric, because some people can stitch a couple hundred in a day and some people can stitch 1,000 in a day.
I know. So I used my free pass on Stitch on Something from a designer not from your country. And then I used, what is this titled? Come All Ye Faithful by, I think it's Glendon Place. Yes, it's a Glendon Place. It was from the 2014 Just Cross Stitch Ornament edition. This is not an ornament. I just would like to say that. I kind of am glad that last year, Just Cross Stitch changed the ornament issue into a Christmas specials issue, because you get a little bit more variety. And like, this is not an ornament. But I did this for something with handles, because the door has handles, and that's my story. And then something you could finish in a hoop. You could finish this in a hoop. It's not that big. This is on a piece of, I don't know if it's 14 or 16 count. It was from Silk Weavers. Don't even ask me what the color name is. That's how long I've had the fabric. And I did 844 stitches. The roof here, finished the roof in, did that roof side of the roof. Did some detailing, did the doorway and the steps, finished the steps. Did some detailing around windows. I'm going to finish putting in the windows and then stitch in the back of the church and then stitch in the windows. Oh, and then do. There's supposed to be back stitching around some of this. I'm not doing that because I just don't find it necessary. I am one of those humans that if I don't find the back stitching necessary, I will not do it. And for a Christmas project like this, there's some back stitching on some of the letters. I do think that'll be necessary. For something like this, it's only going to be up for 2-3 months. What? I put my Christmas decorations up, yeah, like 2 months. 10 weeks at the most. I'm not going to worry about the back stitching. It's not that serious in my book. It may be that serious in your book. It's not in mine. So that was all my stitching for the week, because most of it got done prior to us going on vacation. I will say that Lori in the morning stitched pretty quick, because I got through I was through 600 of that 800 stitches on that in one day, which is not my typical. It takes something pretty singular colored for me to stitch, or color blocked for me to stitch that quickly. So it's good chunks of color. It's just, I did think it really registered. That leaf made it register. Oh, this is a really big project.
I think I should try to do like 400 problems on that. It would fit.
Well, yeah, it would fit.
I think you might kill me by the end of it.
I might.
Okay.
There is no haul because there was no good stuff brought in at MNG for the freebie table.
There was like 2 things brought in.
Yeah, there was not a lot brought in.
People ran out of stuff to give in. So it's kind of a thin herd this.
It was very small group this month.
But August usually is because everybody's on vacation usually.
July is usually our smallest month because it falls right around the 4th of July. But yeah, it was a very small group this month. There's nothing wrong with that. It was just a very small group. So,
like the people that we knew who weren't there had good reasons.
Right. I knew a couple people weren't going to be there because vacation, work stuff.
Yeah, it was just one of those. Everything happened at once, and it's like, oh.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So we are going to this week. So this week for Daily 30. So we'll just go straight into plans because there's no home.
I have no plans
unless my dog beef sticks count as haul. I had to move it, and I thought hey, we bought that this weekend. We did make a pit stop at the Ashery so I could buy a few things, and I was like, there was one thing I was like, my pancake mix that I get, I was like, I should buy some more pancake mix. I think we may go through it this weekend. No, there's a lot in that container. I went through it all. I need more pancake mix now. It's fine.
Okay. What is the theme for this week?
So this week's theme is Book Lovers Day. This is a 200 stitch count week. Thank you, Lord. I say that because it'll help me get caught up on the monthly, because I should blow through this pretty quick. One would hope. It depends on the weather tomorrow. It's supposed to be really warm again tomorrow. And I'm hoping I feel better enough that I can go haul my butt in the pool. Because it may have to get closed for the year early because it's acting a fool.
I got the stuff so it won't be closed early, okay?
Right. So prompt 1, stitch all your stitches with clay colored thread, thick red, gold, brown, tan, etc. I could pull out Porch Welcome, because those are browns. But I also have a free pass. So let's go with...
Let's do the rest.
Continue. Yeah. Stitch on, you guessed it, your oldest current whip, which would be Winter Quaker. Yes, I've already stitched on it. Yes, I am willing to put 200 stitches. I've also already stitched on Porch Welcome.
I'm tempted to just put these as a little extra, try to get them, but everything else is well because we've gotten through 75% of your whips.
Yes.
And this is a very, very not interpretable so far.
There is that.
No offense to whoever came up with these props.
No, the props are good. It's... I think...
Can I finish what I was saying?
What?
I said, no offense to the person who did this, but I don't get to have my fun. I have fun coming up with clever ways of getting things to stretch.
Okay. The props are good. I have 4 whips left that I haven't stitched on in this little set of rotation. So it's going to cause a little bit more challenge. 3. Stitch. What is your favorite tradition to celebrate this day? Stitch on a whip of choice and let us know. You must answer the question. Obviously, I think it's Celebrate Book Lover Day, but I'm going to double check the main text of it. Prompt 3. Books, books, and more books. Traditions for the day are about books. Some of the many traditions of National Book Lovers Day include taking advantage of the great discounts on paperbacks, having a book haul, starting a new book, reading a new genre, donating a book, encouraging others to read, and reading a book adaptation of a movie you like. What is your favorite tradition to celebrate this day? Buying books. Okay, so
Please, please, please. I have a great idea for that
When is
one.
Book Lovers Day? August 9th. Well, that was Friday while we were on our way to, like, what?
You could describe the lovely place we found in Medina that does the book buying and selling of books.
I was going to say donating books, probably, because I'm not a book rereader unless I really, 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 really like the book. There are books that I have read that I have read multiple times. There are other books that I would probably reread. But donating and purchasing books from that bookstore, ESL bookstore in Medina, would probably be my tradition. Also, I have, 30-some whips. I can't read more than one book at a time. I can't have multiple books going. It seems weird to me, but I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't know. Is anybody else? Like, somebody said, oh, I'm reading this book, and I'm reading this book. And I went, and I thought, how do you do that?
I don't get that. I don't see how you do more than one book. Then again, I'm also a monogamist. The thing is, stitching doesn't have plot lines.
Well, this is true, and I think that's my problem, is keeping straight with the plot lines. Let me tell y'all, I'm reading this book right now. Oh, I've totally scrolled. I'm reading this book right now. It is not my genre of books. Okay, I like fantasy, I like historical fiction, I like fantasy romance and historical romance. This book is an alternative history book. I knew within the first chapter I was going to like this book because the author... Okay, so with alternative history, you do have to take the current history of the world and suck it out of your brain and accept that their world lives in their own historical events. Which, being a fantasy reader, I guess I can do. But, so a lot of times alternative history is critical to the pivot of one very critical portion of something. The author nailed the history of this event that they pivoted the history of the world on exceptionally well. Exceptionally well. What?
You're actually reminding me of one of my favorite video game franchises.
Oh.
You might have heard of it. Fallout.
Yes.
The divergence for Fallout is they never came up with the semiconductor. So they never miniaturized technology. So everything's still, there's no diodes, everything is still transistors. And so everything was a lot more wasteful to make stuff. Also, a lot of other stuff going on. A severe lack of care about radiation poisoning is one of them.
Well, yeah.
But suffice it to say, it's like sci-fi, alternate history, but they kind of like do the alternate history so far back that it's just its own world based in ours. And I like that way of doing it, where the alternate history is 100 years before the start of the game, or 300 years before the start of the game, depending on which one.
So, I and part of the reason I was really super unsure about this book was the way they kind of make it alternative history is well, we don't know if they're a modern person or not, but somebody time travels back in time, gives someone in history, so it's called Empire of Lies. It's based on, someone goes back in time and gives one of the Ottoman Sultan's weapon that, from what the author describes in the book, it seems like it's dynamite, but you're not really told yet. I think it's dynamite the way he describes it, and teaches him about suicide bombing, which the Sultan he goes to is Murad II, I think. Ibrahim the Mad's son that was ruling. I think his name was Murad. So it's about 200 years before. So it's 200 plus years before dynamite and suicide bombings first became a thing. But that's basically how the catalyst of the Ottomans being able to take over the whole of Europe. The author really doesn't make it outrageous. Like, okay, I enjoyed Harry Turtledove's Guns of the South. It was outrageous that someone time traveled and gave the guys in the Confederacy automatic weapons. Okay? It was outrageous. It was ridiculous. It just was kind of weird. This is not outrageous. Like, it's not an outrageous somebody gave you something. Like, it's not an outrageous, they would look at you, like, really, realistically, they would look at you and go, what? Where with AK-47s in 1860 something, this was just an accelerated advancement of a technology that was already starting to develop. What?
Technically, it's a second or third time that technology was used. People had developed nowhere near as powerful, but grenades were used in Greece.
Well,
but they kept losing the technology because nobody wanted to share it.
It was kind of an unoutrageous advancement of the technology, so I thought it was really good. Okay, anyways, we need to go back to...
Also, I'm sorry, but if I'm going to give weapons to the South, it makes more sense to say, here, blaster rifles. That actually makes more sense. If I have the ability to time travel, I shouldn't be giving them AKs. I should be giving them blaster rifles.
Well...
Because all you got to do is give them solar panels to recharge the damn things.
Guns of the South was written, I think, in the 90s.
Star Trek was written in the 60s.
So, there was a little bit of that. And Harry Turtledove did actually write maybe there was 2 or 3 books based on, like, based on the Civil War turning on something that would logically make sense. Guns of the South was this completely outrageously illogical phenomenon of a book that, while it was kind of amusing to read, was like, yeah, this is outrageous. The latter book, the next book, the book where it kind of, the South wins the Civil War, does have a logical turn on history. Okay. So number 3 is, what's your favorite tradition to celebrate this day? We will go with donating books and buying new books from the ESL place. And then the prompt is stitch on a whip of your choice and let us know. So Patriotic Picnic, Sampler Book, Christmas in Blue, and Sunflower. Okay. Prompt 4 is stitch on a whip of choice and add a cover shot of your most recently read book to your comments in this prompt. Now, I'm wondering if that's recently finished or currently reading, because
it says
I do have a book that I finished called The Second Duchess that's really good, but
You want to be the smart arse?
What?
Include both.
I know, that's what I was going to do. Because it was like, I finished The Second Duchess. That was a really good book, too.
Honey, if you keep talking about books, this is going to turn into a 6-year video.
I know. Slow down. And then stitch on a whip that contains books or words. Patriotic Picnic has words. Sampler Book has words. Christmas in Blue has words.
Sample book, sample book, sample book.
So we will do Sampler Book. We will try to do Sampler Book for all of the prompts.
It's only 200 each.
It's only 200 each. The thing I have with Sampler Book is the over 1 labeling of the pages gets a little tedious. So I may plug in whichever one I decide to do, 1 or 2. I may plug in that whip for one of the 2 choice ones. Alright, so, and I think I only have 2 of the monthlies done. I'd have to look. So, hopefully we have some more stitches this, hopefully I don't have anything big planned this week. You don't have anything big going on this week? Well, okay, wait.
I do. You don't.
Let me rephrase that.
Okay, we have something done on the weekend.
Yeah. So Saturday is the blessing of the new parish office center with the auxiliary bishop, and we are Eucharistic ministers for that because I didn't make note of the day and request us not to be Eucharistic ministers. My anxiety is already killing me. My anxiety has been kicking me about this since.
Can I be honest?
What?
I'm pretty sure if you called the lady, she'd find somebody for you. For us.
I'm sure they would, but also
I thought you were looking forward to it.
Well, I mean, I'm excited for the opening of the parish center. So my plan is for us to get to church early enough that I can be a plate and not have to be a cup.
Good.
It is a little bit, a lot of people think it's easier being the plate, the person that gives you the body of Christ, than it is being a cup. But half of the time, people don't stop at the cup, the wine.
Actually, would you like to know the only part about doing the cup that's bad? If you drop it. The thought of dropping it. It's more anxiety-inducing because you got to trigger an entire cleanup process.
But I have learned the anxiety of being the plate because a couple weeks ago, Father gave all of us on the altar our communion, and then he gives the cups their wine, and we turn to the people who have the chalices with the wine and take the wine, and then he hands out the plates with the wafer with the host, and he looks at all of us as he's handing them out and says, "You have to break them in half right from the start because we didn't get enough. We don't have enough consecrated hosts." Do you understand how offended people get by that? If you don't give them their whole little circle wafer, they get offended. And they look at you like you are the devil incarnate. I almost would rather deal with being a cup.
I actually like doing the cup because I'm usually just standing there. The first half of the communion, I'm busy. For some reason, the people that sit in the back...
It's true, the people that sit in the back don't want the communion wine.
I don't know why.
It's kind of funny. All right. So we have that going on. Wednesday, I'm supposed to be canning corn with Mom and Dad. So we will have lots of canned corn. Lots of canned corn.
Oh, by the way, I never forgot where to put all the cans down there from the
I know. I will probably deal with that tomorrow. I just didn't have the brain power or the...
yeah.
I know how I'm going to deal with it. I just didn't feel like dealing with it today.
Hey, at least I put it in a place that's out of the way.
Yes.
I just want to let you know it's still there because it's so far out of the way that if you weren't looking for it, you might not notice it.
I noticed it. Sorry. My mom sent home canned green beans with us the weekend prior when we were at their house, and Joe put it in the basement because I store all of our canned goods on some pantry shelving in the basement.
And it needs reorganized to fit it all.
I need to get I have reorganized it. I reorganized it a little while ago. I just need to put the cans of new green beans onto the shelf. I used up all of the old green beans last week because I made green bean casserole for the old people luncheon that I went to on Thursday. I went to the old people lunch. Yes, I went to the old people lunch at the church. For one thing, the two gals that run the decorating committee were presenting, so I kind of went for them. But also because, I don't know, it's a nice little socialization. Every once in a while, if they have an interesting program, I probably won't go in September because they're going to be talking about moving into assisted living and such. I don't need that. So, alright, we have done whips, we have done plans, we have talked our heads off. And now we come to the part where we say goodbye. What do we want those people watching to do?
To have a lovely week. Please, if your legs start hurting you, don't keep walking around like a moron. I might have done that. That's why my legs hurt. Please like, comment, subscribe, bell thingy, all the YouTube stuff. Make Mr. Algorithm like us, or Mrs. Algorithm, or we don't have a gender neutral surfer, so please make it algorithm thingy me bobby happy and do all the YouTube stuff.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us this week. We hope you enjoyed yourself. We hope you were entertained. We hope to see you next week. Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.